What's going on, everybody? Chase with IW Hockey here with Dayson, who's the Senior Product Line Manager for True Hockey at your headquarters here in Memphis, Tennessee. And we have the exciting Catalyst 9X4 line before us. Now, as always, let's jump into who that Catalyst player is, and more importantly, what type of skating stride does it accentuate?
Yeah, Chase, the Catalyst line we designed to be more of an agility and mobility skate versus our Hazardous line. So this one's gonna have a little bit softer boot as compared to our Hazardous, and it's really for that player that wants a more dynamic skate, something that they can feel move with them a little bit and really give a lot of more energy into that stride.
Well, let's hop right into that 9X4. Aesthetically talking here, real big changes, but underneath the hood, we're seeing some great refinements from that previous line of Catalyst.
Yep.
So let's talk about the boot first and what's going on underneath the hood there.
Yeah, absolutely. So as always with our skates, we have our one-piece shell. That one-piece shell is in every single skate that we make. It's really our identity. It's who we are. It's the way to get the most energy transfer out of your stride. It's really just a superior way to build a skate. So we have that in all four of these skates and all these models. In our 9X4 skate, it's our full carbon fiber thermoformable boot. It's an extremely thermoformable skate. Anybody that's ever been in any of our skates, they know when they put it in the oven, they heat it up a little bit, it really changes form on their foot. So we continue to have that. We've improved a little bit on the layering of the carbon fibers themselves to address any kind of a durability concern or anything we've seen in the past.
And then same thing too, you kind of mentioned that it's the improvement on the carbon layering, but underneath too, we see a different change in how, what materials you're using to mount the holder to the boot itself too. So can we touch on that as well?
Yeah, we've got a plastic that's co-molded in with the carbon fiber shell. So it's actually an extra piece in there to mount that holder in there to make sure that the rivets hold still and hold tight and really give you, again, any kind of energy transfer loss is really going to be an issue. So making sure your rivets are tight and your holder's on properly is very, very important. So we wanted to address that moving forward and make sure you get a good bite on those rivets.
And then for anyone who hasn't tried a True Skate yet, when you do bake it, it provides such an incredible fit that it's really mind-blowing. And it has to do with the one-piece carbon fiber boot, but also what's going on inside of the boot as well. So let's move on to the liner next.
So in the 9X4 skate, as you talked about, the inside is a lot of improvements, and it really starts with those thermoformable foams and liner in the inside. The liner is going to give you a really good grip so that your foot's not moving around inside your skate. Again, that's energy loss. So we need your foot to really stay still on the skate. The thermoformable foams are going to wrap around your foot during that forming process, just like the carbon fiber shell. And in our 9X4, we're featuring our Genetics insole, which is a very, very good insole that we've made over a number of years. It's very unique, very comfortable, and again, gonna increase the performance of the skate.
And last but not least, for the top of the foot and the toes as well, some great comfort features, but also really helping to keep you locked in, similar to that kind of grippy feature that we see in the liner. So let's talk about the tongue as well as the toe box next.
Yeah, so on the inside of the skate, the tongue, we've got our laminated T-guard tongue. So that's gonna be a tongue that's really gonna give you a lot of protection from the puck, but also protection from lace bite. And then our carved toe cap, which is something that we introduced into our Hazardous skate in 23, which has been very, very successful for us. Very comfortable, form-fitting, nice, narrow toe cap. Really gonna keep you from bottoming out as you really get on that edge of the skate.
And I just like the low profile look of it as well. And then before we move on to the bottom of the boot, I really like how you guys brought back how it's a replaceable tongue too. It's adjustable through that Velcro, so you can add or remove some volume inside the boot, but just in case it wears out, you don't have to buy a whole new skate. You can just pick up the tongue.
Yeah, that's right, and that's a little bit unique to us. As you said, I'm a skater that likes to be able to move my toes in my skate, so you can move that tongue up a little bit. If you're a guy that really likes a lot of tightness and over your toes and not feel anything, move that tongue down a little bit. But as you said, also an opportunity to customize your skate with additional tongue options.
So last but not least, let's talk about the holder as well as that DLC steel.
Yeah, so in the 9X4 skate model, we do have our Shift Max holder. You will notice one change in it is our little trigger mechanism here is black rather than our true blue from before, and we've got this DLC 9CR steel. So this is a very, very high grade steel in this. It's gonna hold that edge an extremely long time. Really, really good glide. A very premium product there underneath your boot as well.
And obviously it looks great too, right?
I think so, yeah. The stylings of our 9X4, obviously more to the pro liking, very tonal, a lot of black, a lot of silver, really looking like a high-end skate that you'd see out there in the NHL level.
So as you mentioned, that's really the pro skate model in this entire line of 9x4 skates. The 7x4 is still truly elite from top to bottom, inside and out, just with, a little more of the traditional features compared to that 9x4. So for you here at True, like, what really makes this stand out compared to the competition?
Yeah, so our 7x4 skate is very, very similar to our 9x4 skate, where it has almost all these same bells and whistles. As I've said, that full one-piece shell, that's really the key to our skate. You're still gonna have a one-piece carbon fiber shell in our 7x4 skate. In this one, you do lose that genetics insole, so more of a traditional insole, and then a traditional stainless 9CR steel underneath. So a little bit of a downgrade on the steel and the insole, but other than that, this is a very, very high performing skate at that price point.
Yeah, it's essentially the same boot, which is incredible.
It really is.
And I mean, we're gonna keep up with that theme when we talk about the 5x4 and the 3x4. A little bit more for that competitive player, maybe getting into competitive play if you're looking at the 3x4. But when we talk about these two models here, what really makes these such an exceptional choice for that player?
Yeah, so we've actually done something a little bit different this year in our Catalyst skates, and that is a new shell material we use on our 5x4 and our 3x4. That's what we're calling our NeuroFit shell. So this is an injection molded shell versus a full carbon fiber shell. What's important, as I've said now 3 times, it is still a one-piece shell. That's very, very important as you look at the bottom of the skate versus the side panel. If it was 2 pieces, you lose energy there. That one piece is critical for us. So having this injection molded shell, it's extremely durable. It will be a little bit softer than the carbon fiber shell, but it performs extremely well. And we're actually seeing this shell being used at the NHL level.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And what I like too is, like, we see this on the 9x4, the 7x4, but as you pointed out too, when you just look at these, how anatomical they are. So, of course, it's a lot less material, so you're getting better energy transfer, but even right out of the box, just such an incredible anatomical fit. And then I do want to touch on, before I forget, the flex tendon guard, because we do see this in the 5x4 that we also see in the 7 and the 9.
Right.
So, for that player maybe looking at the Catalyst line, how does that really help them achieve that agility and mobility?
Sure. Yeah, so it is a flex tendon guard with a little bit higher of a flex point than we have in our other skates. We also do still have a rivet and replaceable tendon guard in our 9x4, 7x4, and 5x4. However, it is hidden behind a layer here that's a little bit, leads to a little bit more comfort, a little bit better aesthetic, if you will. But really, as you said, it's really toward that agility and mobility to give you a proper flex in that tendon guard area.
And we see definitely a change when we talk about the liners, especially when you compare the 5x4 to the 3x4. So just in terms of the overall internals between these two, what do we find?
Yeah, that's the biggest difference between the two, really, is that liner itself. Where here you've got the grip material, the silicone print on the liner to really keep your foot in place. We lose that as we go down to the 3x4, more of a traditional liner in that skate. Other than that, very, very similar. We have our 7CR steel and a 3CR steel in the 3X. So a bit of a downgrade in steel, and really what that means is it's going to hold an edge a little bit longer as the steel grade gets a little bit higher.
And then last but not least, what about the carved toe cap? Do we find that on both price points too?
We do. We've got the carved toe cap in all 4 of our price points of our skates. So you'll see that all the way across. The other key difference when we look at the 5X and the 3X is we've got a poured PU side panel in the 5X4. So this will be the same as in the 7 and the 9. Very, very durable, where this is more of a traditional PU material in the 3X4.
So if you're looking to try a one-piece boot, you're not sold on it yet, obviously the 3x4 is a great, affordable way to try it. But, of course, with the money-back guarantee, True stands behind these one-piece boots. So if you haven't tried it, you definitely need to give it a shot. But Dayson, I want to say thanks so much for having us out here, walking us through the 9x4 line.
Thank you.
And for you at home that want to check out the entire line of True Hockey skates, make sure you head over to icewarehouse.com.